Hey, good people, listen, in this video, I need you to watch this one all the way through. There's a lot of gems all the way to the very end. I shot this one a few days ago, but if you pay attention to this video, there is money to be saved and there's money to be earned. Hey, what's up, good people? Welcome to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Like, subscribe, and notification bell in your lower right-hand corner. Make sure you select all on that notification bell. Hey, for those of you that's been with me, hit the like button, okay? Let's get right into it. Listen, this is brought to you by Stock Up University. Come learn, earn, and stop losing money. Learn from the best, all right? We got Keenan Grace with options, Stock with Josh charting. We got myself, Mommy Trader, Stock Curry. Come and learn, okay? And then lastly, if you want to get those hot plays, all right, come and join the Stock Squad. We got Mo, myself, we got Keenan Grace and Stocks with Josh giving you guys our best plays. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about an unpopular topic, or should I say a topic I wish I wasn't talking about, and that's war and the fear of war and what the stock market generally do in wartime. Okay, so you guys know when the other conflict started with Russia and Ukraine, I did an in-depth video on the effects of war to the stock market. But this time I'm just going to get right to the point and go to some points that I want you guys to see and some points I want to make, should I say, right? So let's look at it right here. It says war often brings about a level of uncertainty which markets typically dislike, right? The outbreak of anticipation of war can lead to a sharp sell-off in stocks, right? So the onset, soon as war starts, or rumors of wars, that's when the sell-off is. The sharper sell-off is actually before the war gets, in full scale, right? And so as war and the rumors of war, now we do know what's going on in over there in the Middle East, right? And this is just for money. We're not going to get into the politics of it all. We're just going to talk about our money because it's going to affect the stock market, right? And so let's just go down this rabbit hole, all right? Listen, look at this. At the same time, investors may move towards traditional, safer assets like gold, right? Bonds, right? Or currencies perceived as safe havens, all right? Other type of currencies. And bonds, of course, fixed income, because we want to be risk off, right? And so if we can get 4.55% on a bond, then our money is safer there than in equities. And so it makes a lot of sense. A lot of institutions and a lot of people have went that way already, right? Have already started to transition and move towards safety as things ramp up. So this is what I want to show you. How war affects the modern stock market, right? We're not going to talk about this. It talks about Russia and Ukraine, right? It just talks about what's going on right now. It goes back to 9/11, but here's what I want to concentrate on. The key takeaways, all right? So this is what I want you guys to know. Let's blow that up a little bit because this is very important in our stock market, okay? Though war and defense spending can amount to a sizable portion of the U.S. GDP, gross domestic product, war often has little sustained impact on the stock markets or economic growth at home. Markets largely have ignored recent conflicts related to the Middle East and Iran. See that, right? So now let's read this because this is important. A broader regional war, however, may have a more severe impact. Now, we know that this could have a more broader impact. So we're just going to have to monitor that, especially on oil and other commodity prices. Okay. So if true war, or should I say true war, there's already a true war in the Middle East. But if America gets involved or more major countries get involved, right, which a lot of people are calling World War III, then oil is going to spike in prices. Okay. So a broader regional war, however, may have more severe impact, especially on oil and other commodity prices. Okay. So now let's read this last one because you need to see this. Still, stock markets have often quickly recovered to pre-invasion levels, right? Only a matter of what? Days or weeks after armed conflicts or standoff begins. So, in other words, panicking and running away from the stock market in most cases is actually not the best thing to do, but it could prolong things if, like they said, if a broader war, all right, however, may cause more severe impact. So if the war broadens, then it could cut deeper into the stock market. But remember, days and weeks, look at that, days and weeks after a armed conflict or standoff begins, that's when the market yet still can recover to pre-invasion levels, right? So that's what we need to know. So it could actually present itself a buying opportunity. Now, I'm not telling you to buy. Anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy or sell. Now, I read one that defense stock are some of the best stock to buy. Now, I know that some of you guys will say, hey, I'm not going to make money off of defense. Well, not just war defense stock, but companies like Boeing that makes airplanes. Actually, those are some of the companies that actually do well, right? So let's look here. 8 defense stock to buy now, right? And this is in lieu of war, right? So as you can see, conflicts, right? So that's why I went here. Let's just take a look. And I'm not telling you guys to buy this, but it was interesting as I was thinking of a certain company when they said defense, right? I was thinking of a low cap company called Palantir. Now, they say Boeing has a 62% upside, right? Look at that. Northrop, you guys know we made money off of this. For those of you that's been rocking with me, leave me a comment. 25.5% upside. But look at what else is there. Palantir. They're saying Palantir only has a 3.7% upside, which I disagree with. All right. I think that Palantir has a bigger upside, it being such a low cap stock. Now, I know some of you are going to say, hey, but it ran up so much. They also have so much to offer. So for those of you that have Palantir or are considering getting a little more Palantir, you need to really monitor what's going on here in this war. So let's look at this. I put together Boeing and Palantir, right? Palantir being the yellow, Boeing being the blue. And as we can look over the last month, they're actually down about the same amount, right? So yes, Palantir is up, but Palantir had the run up before the war started. So if you go 6 months out, you could see Palantir has been a beast, up 93%. As a matter of fact, year to date, Boeing is flat and Palantir is up 135%. But as Palantir continues to get more contracts and get more involved in defense, Palantir, I believe, could run up even more. All right. Now, here's the question that a lot of you are asking, and I'm wondering also too. What is the effects of war on crypto? Right? As you can see here, it's not a good sign. The crypto market is even more vulnerable to a global war. That's what I was saying. When the war intensifies and more countries get involved, it becomes a global war. Cryptocurrencies are already highly volatile, and a war could send prices crashing. Additionally, many governments are considering banning or regulating cryptocurrencies, which would, of course, future erode the value of crypto. And so these are some of the things that you need to consider. Now, myself, I take this with a grain of salt because if it does crash as crypto, myself, I'm not telling you, then it again may present itself to be another buying opportunity. Okay, so let me take a look here. So here's a report that talks about small cap. So I had a question: which generally performs better, small cap or large cap? But I found this interesting report that lets us know what small caps generally do during high inflation. So high inflation, like we are right now, wreak havoc on small cap stocks, right? But small cap stocks generally do better when the Fed starts to reduce interest rates. In the case that we go into a full-on war, right, that the Fed will, I believe, will start to reduce interest rates, okay? So now let's look at this. For consumers, it is important to understand that during a war, mortgage and personal loan rates tend to go down alongside central bank rates. For example, during the start of World War II, interest rates on home loans fell to 5%, which at the time was a record low percentage, right? So now we know what the Fed is most likely to do if we go into a world war, I'm going to call it. So if the war broadens, the Fed is more likely to lower interest rates, right? And so what do I think about that? I think that small cap stocks will actually have a bigger bounce. I think we'll have a bigger percentage on small cap stocks. Listen, I pulled this up, US small cap stocks, right? I know this is a lot of information, but it's going to help you guys in your decision making. US small cap stocks can, in fact, deliver results in periods of high inflation, right? But this goes on, you can see, from World War II, the U.S. has experienced roughly a half a dozen episodes in which inflation, as a measure of CPI, exceeded 5%. Right, and then it goes down to, let's start about right there. Okay, when inflation surges from nearly 6% to almost 14%, U.S. small cap stocks returned 9%. Look at that. 9% per year compared with 5.4% for U.S. large caps. So small cap returned 9%, which was almost twice as much as large cap stock. Okay? So when the Fed starts to lower interest rates, right, then small caps should get a bounce. And guess what's the small cap stock? All right. All right. So, hey, good people, we're going to leave it right there. I just wanted to point you guys in the right direction. And I know it's just kind of one thing leads into another, but I will be keeping my eye on Palantir. There's a couple of things that I will be keeping my eye on. And then, of course, crypto. So now if crypto takes a tank, if the war broadens, then me personally, I would take that as an opportunity to buy, especially before the halving. Okay. And so how will you buy if you've exhausted all your money? So I'm keeping a lot of dry powder, though I am in crypto right now. And I'm also going to be keeping my eye on some small cap stock like Palantir, just in case. Okay, good people. So we're going to leave it right there. I know this was a lot, but it was a lot to be learned. And I believe that there's a lot of money to be made as we still pray for peace, because in the end, peace is going to give us peace of mind, right? And so that's what we pray for over there in the Middle East. And in closing, make sure you check out Stock Up You, and make sure you learn, spend hundreds to save thousands to make tens of thousands. And then, of course, come over to the Patreon and join the Stock Squad. All right, good people. We'll see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.